Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about, also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field, and we like that. Real quick shout out to our sponsor, Tech Industries. If you ever need someone to show up to your place of business and or work, cut the power to where no one can do a damn thing all day long, go ahead and call Tech Industries. They'll square it away for you. They'll have people up there chopping the power, therefore causing electricians to have to come up there and troubleshoot, which will take all day. And you can either get a day off or stay there doing nothing and get paid for the entirety. So call Tech Industries. Anyhow, moving straight into it today. Today we're going to be talking about a game that is an exclusive to the PlayStation system. That's right, we are going to be talking about Days Gone. So, Days Gone, a little bit of, some controversy surrounding its initial launch, man, because all the major outlets kind of are like, oh, this game's crap. And then you had a bunch of, I guess, believable sources and such that, are on the little internet that you could watch, and they were saying that, hey, the game's actually, not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. So, we know why you're here, because we're talking about Days Gone. That's right. So, Days Gone, all in all, what can be said about this one, man? Well, what can be said about it is that for us, it is a good game with some great aspects. We can't say it's a great game because we haven't completed it through its entirety or anything like that, but it is a good game and it is worth playing. If we had picked this up day one, we got it on a little bit of a sale, so we got it for like 40 bones. If you had picked this up on day one, don't think that you should have any problems with it. At least we wouldn't have, or whatever. And now that we picked it up for even less than, the initial release or whatever, we are completely happy with everything that we've done so far. Probably only about 10 to 20 hours in, somewhere in there. And, we've been enjoying the hell out of it. There is some, little bit of wonkiness in how they do the cutscenes, especially in the very, very first initial part of the game. And so our thoughts on it, which, who are we? No one cares. Our thoughts on it, though, are, any type of, game reviewer for a big outlet that actually doesn't really play games on their own, or wouldn't if they had the choice to and it wasn't their job, man, they probably interacted with a couple of those initial things and were like, man, F this game or whatever, and then rated it whatever the hell they rated it. We're not going to cite any specific examples because who cares. But all in all, like we said, not a great game so far, but it is a good game with some great aspects, and definitely one that is going to be, especially subject matter wise, if you like any kind of, motorcycle club type stuff. Sons of Anarchy is the first example that kind of sprouts into the mind, but that's a really poor example for this, because really the only thing that is in it kind of in common is motorcycles. But man, got no problem with the couple mechanics that we can talk about that people did find big issue with, which is, the running out of gas and having to fix your bike and stuff like that. Like, we got no problem with that at all. Like, that works out just fine. What we do have a problem with is how they kind of do, the cutscenes in a wonky fashion. And I don't know if it's because we're used to games like God of War that are just so free-flowing with, how they can, jump into a cutscene and stuff like that. But something does seem off about how they go about the implementation of them. So, that aside, though, for us, the story's okay. Wouldn't say that so far it's like the biggest knockout of the park. But, what we do like about this game is that it holds your hand without holding your hand, which is kind of weird, but, you do get free range to do whatever, and it does show you how to do stuff, but, like, it really doesn't, guide you the entire way, which is good, in our opinion. These dudes, they knocked it out. Bend Studio, whatever, who cares, Days Gone. It's worth checking out, man, if you haven't, or if you were on the fence about it. You might really enjoy it. Now, at the same time, maybe you'll completely hate it, so that's on you. But Days Gone is worth a check out. We have absolutely no qualms about having picked it up and trying it out. And like we said, this is a preemptive review, and so far, it's a good game with some great aspects. What are the great aspects? Well, either you'll have to play it to find out yourself, or we'll tell you one of them. And that is, the very first time you see one of those hordes just like free range roaming in the world, like that shit's insane. Especially if you're like low and out of ammo and don't have supplies on you because you just like took out a couple nests somewhere, or took out some, evil doers or something like that. Like, I mean, yeah, it makes you really, really appreciate what the game's got going on for it. And another great thing about it is the attention to detail in the dumb stuff. Like, and what do we consider dumb stuff? Like the aesthetics, man. Like when you pop open the hood of a car or a truck or whatever, the engine layout and stuff like that. Now we ain't no mechanic, but that shit is legit as far as how they got it laid out. So there's some really, really great stuff in the game. Gameplay itself is good. Can't say that everything about it is great, because it is just good. But worth a play, especially if it's been on your list. We have, no reservations about recommending it to anyone. Subject matter pending, gameplay style pending. Open world without being Horizon, which has a great story. This one has a good story. Gameplay wise, it's not bad, man. So really got a lot of negative flack on it from the initial thing, especially what we had heard. But all that can go out the window. It's worth a play. Days Gone, what do we think of you? You get a PG, because you're pretty good. So check it out. Or don't. Who cares? Do what you do, we do what we do. Have a good one. You probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't.